This is a Java class named Hangman Panel that extends the JPanel class and implements the property change listener interface. The class has a private instance variable named remaining attempts that stores the number of remaining attempts in the Hangman game. The class has a constructor that takes the initial value of remaining attempts as a parameter. The class has a setter method named setRemainingAttempts that updates the remaining attempts instance variable. The class overrides the paint component method of the JPanel class to draw the hangman's figure based on the remaining attempts. The drawHangman method contains the logic to draw the different parts of the hangman's figure based on the remaining attempts. The class implements the property change listener interface to listen for changes in the remaining attempts property of the game model. When the remaining attempts property changes, the property change method is called, and the method updates the remaining attempts instance variable and repaints the panel to update the display. The Hangman class is a Java program that implements the Hangman game using the Java Swing graphical user interface library. It extends the JFrame class and implements the action listener interface, which listens to user actions such as button clicks. The class has several instance variables, including words, an array of strings that contains the possible words that the player can guess. Word, the current word that the player is trying to guess. Masked word, a string builder object that represents the current masked word, where each unguessed letter is replaced with an underscore. Remaining attempts, an integer that represents the number of remaining attempts the player has to guess the word. Masked word label, remaining attempts label, input field, incorrect letters, submit button, and new game button, graphical components that display information and allow the player to interact with the game. Hangman panel, a custom panel that displays the hangman image based on the number of remaining attempts. Guessed letters, a set of characters that represents the letters that the player has already guessed. The init components method initializes all the graphical components and adds them to the main panel using a border layout manager. The action performed method checks which button was clicked and takes the appropriate action, either submitting a guessed letter or starting a new game. The check letter method checks if the guessed letter is correct and updates the masked word, the remaining attempts, and the hangman image accordingly. The check game over method checks if the game is over, either the player has run out of attempts or has guessed the word correctly, and displays a message dialog accordingly. The new game method resets the game to its initial state by selecting a new word and resetting all the variables and graphical components. The class main. The class imports the javax.swing package, which provides a set of tools and components for building desktop applications with a graphical user interface. Inside the main method, the swingutilities.invocelater method is used to ensure that the creation and display of the GUI is performed on the EDT.